Yes! First of all, I'm going to celebrate myself because I completed NaNoWriMo. That's right. I kept in my integrity, and for 30 days straight, I wrote every single day in November. And that means you can do it too. But the breakdown goes like this. If you're not familiar with NaNoWriMo, it is National Novel Writing Month. So for 30 days, writers all over the world embark on this insane challenge to write 50,000 words over the course of November. So by writing every day, that basically breaks down to 1,667 words a day. You can look at your girl all you want. I did not take on the challenge to that extent. I have a lot of trauma I'm trying to work through from corporate world, from marketing, copywriting, and having to shit words on a daily basis to the point that I'm like, no, know thyself like the Oracle of Delphi. Don't do it. Just sign on to writing every single day. So I thought by doing that, I would develop this amazing habit of writing. So did I? No, I did not develop the habit. Now I completed it, and they say it takes 21 days to develop a habit, but nobody talks about the set of time that it takes to actually debunk all the poopy habits that you had before that. So I'm in the debunking of poopy habits stage right now because I've continued to write every day past NaNoWriMo, but it has not become so well oiled in my body that I crave it if I miss it. So the other thing that I did not realize in NaNoWriMo was that when I made that commitment to myself, I made it rain or shine. And rain can sometimes look like a little too much Prosecco at brunch, but you still have to come home and figure out the words from heaven to put onto the page. So that's just a little warning flare for anybody who decides to do it in the future. Plan it better. Do it earlier in the day. So there's that. Okay, the other thing about NaNoWriMo is that I really needed more community than I allowed myself to have. So I know that there's a site and people track their word count and they're all in this together and they're talking about it. But there was something about that for me that wasn't going to work because I wasn't matching at the level that they were. Like I really wasn't going after the 50,000 words in a month. I just wanted to begin to develop the habit of doing this every single day, right? And so what I did was I had a little hack. Is a friend of mine who's also a writer said, hey, do you want to just text each other our word count every day? And that was one of the most hilarious and best ideas that anyone has ever given to me, because we would text each other every night, like faithfully, how many words that we had. But sometimes those words were just like 25 words. And one of my favorite messages was, I wrote a sentence. And I applauded her because I understood what she meant. She's like, I wrote a sentence. And then we started to make fun of the words that we had, which is the next part of NaNoWriMo. So as part of NaNoWriMo, I had this illusion in my mind that I was going to bring forth like manna from the heavens. Like I was really going to push forward on my novel and like these beautiful words were going to come out and I was going to weep and ooh. None of that happened. None of it happened. I don't really know if over the course of the month that I have anything workable going forward. That is the truth. That's the truth. So the fun part about the text messages is we started to get comedic about what we were doing. So like one time I was like, I wrote 335 words of dumpster fire, for example, because it was true. It was awful. So that's another part of NaNoWriMo that maybe is a little bit hidden. For me, it was. It's probably nobody else is that ridiculous, but there was a big portion of what I wrote during NaNoWriMo that's going to require heavy revision or just the trash can. So that's kind of my overview of NaNoWriMo. I'm still happy I did it. I'm going to do it again next year. I'm of course going to go under my parameters of what I'm actually going to do per day, which is just write. But also, I gave myself some liberties in NaNoWriMo that maybe others don't. And I'm just going to share those with you and take what feels good and leave the rest if it doesn't. So one of the things that I did was I was like, I know I can't do the 1667, so I'm just going to show up, right? And I'm going to move toward my novel. But here's the thing that I also did for myself. Some days I just couldn't write to my novel. I couldn't do it. Nothing was coming in, nothing was happening. And I gave myself the liberty to just write something else. So a couple times it was a writing prompt. One time I just felt like writing a poem. So I wrote that poem and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my poem. Because that's what I needed to do to creatively fuel myself. I needed it so that I didn't feel like this is the only thing I can look at and work on for 30 days. And it rejuvenated me. So I spent 90% of NaNoWriMo working toward my novel, which I've been working on for the past year. But I gave myself the space to just be a creative. So if that calls to you next year, please do it. Please give it a shot. Like, let yourself express and be creative beyond just this targeted goal. But NaNoWriMo was totally worth it. I learned a lot about myself on how I write, the best ways for me to write, what is not a good idea to do, like wait until when you know you're going to brunch and then you did not write before brunch. Bad news bears, but whatever. So there's a lot that I learned, a lot that I took forward and am still continuing. As I said, I'm writing beyond these 30 days. And also just the glory of saying I did it and I had a support system and it felt good. It felt good. And I have 18,000 more words than I had in October. So thank you, NaNoWriMo. I hope you enjoyed hearing about NaNoWriMo from a real person's perspective on what it's like. And next year, I hope you do it. Give it a shot or just do your own version in December, January, February. It doesn't matter. Just get writing and know that it's going to be a challenge. There's a learning curve. You're going to have to stick it out. And that's what these videos are kind of for you to know that writing isn't always easy and you're going to get stuck and it's okay. So that's it. NaNoWriMo 2019. You heard it here. Ciao.